Baldur's Gate 3 just got enhanced for the PlayStation 5 Pro, meaning all 7 players now got a big update that changes some of the things in Baldur's Gate 3, and I'll be breaking down if this is worthwhile because it actually is quite a meaningful change, especially for performance mode. Now, if you play Baldur's Gate 3, there's two choices. You got quality or performance mode. Now, these are the two modes that most games get now on PlayStation 5, with performance mode being actually only 960p and upscaled with FSR2. Now, this is actually going to change with the updated version, because now in the PS5 Pro, performance mode will upscale from 1440p to 4K 60 frames per second using PSSR. Now, you may be asking, what is PSSR? It's actually PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution. If you play on PC, you'll know what DLSS, so NVIDIA's own deep learning super sampling, which actually works really well. From what I've heard, PSSR is okay at best, like not fantastic, but it's kind of like a deep learning where AI upscales it and makes it look a little bit better. Now, I play on PC, and I actually find that this looks better on PC. Just a heads up. If you are looking to get a new console and you're considering the PlayStation 5, maybe consider getting a PC instead, because you can do a whole lot more with it, but that's a whole other issue. We'll get into it here. So today's updates bring in PlayStation 5 players a quick multiplayer fix alongside brand new graphical enhancements. So it is a nice fix for other PlayStation 5 players. So on PS5 Pro, the quality mode now runs at native 4K, only at 30 frames per second. This is a big oof. I wish it was a lot higher than that, obviously, because that would be nicer, but hey, it runs at 30 frames per second. For example, on PC, you can get a graphics card. 3060 could run 4K at 60 frames per second easily, and at higher graphics cards, you can run that even higher. Like I get around 90 to 110, 120 at times frames per second on a 4070. And that type of graphics card isn't too expensive if you're looking at the price of a PlayStation 5 Pro, but I digress. The performance mode seems to be the standout mode here. So this gets the nice 1440p upscaled to 4K using the deep learning and at 60 frames per second, which is the big thing. If you're anything like me, I can't play games that are 30 frames per second. The only exception I make is for Bloodborne, because there is no 60 frames per second patch unless you're crazy and patch your PlayStation 4. But yeah, the only game I make an exception for is Bloodborne. So the 60 frames per second is actually quite huge on performance mode, and it looks nice. I actually got some examples here that I just want to touch on from some people that have been playing it. I am not rich enough to buy myself a PlayStation 5 Pro. I got a PlayStation 5, and I'm more than happy with it. It plays Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and that game looks gorgeous. So yeah, split screen on the PS5 Pro will now either offer 30 frames per second or 60 frames, depending on whether you're using quality or performance mode. So that is another big one for a lot of players. If you're big on couch co-op, you can now do performance mode and get 60 frames per second on split screen, which previously would only lock it to 30. So that itself is actually a pretty big change. I think the two biggest wins here for PlayStation 5 Pro players would be performance mode and being able to do split screen at 60. Now, there's some also crashes and fixes that they fixed on PlayStation 5, so prevented you from downloading or subscribing to mods when downloading another player's multiplayer game with mod enabled. So if you try to do multiplayer with someone and they have mods, previously it would not allow you to download the mods, but now it works. So that is a nice change. Now, PlayStation 5, this is what it looks like. The graphics look very comparable. This is at the 4K resolution, so only 30 frames per second. This video is made by Dan Allen Gaming, so you can check it out for a full detailed look through at what this looks like. But the game itself is pretty nice. Obviously, it's Baldur's Gate 3, so it's a beautiful game at natural. It's got a bit of that ray tracing look going on too, so you can see that in the quality mode in the areas surrounding it. I'm like, the shadows are nice, but it's kind of similar to what you get whenever you play on PC. So I don't know if it's really worth spending all that money to get yourself a PlayStation 5 Pro. The performance mode seems to be the big standout here. So I do like the performance mode, but just looking through this, it does look nice, but I mean, it looks pretty nice on the PlayStation 5 base model. So I don't know if I'd go breaking legs to buy a PlayStation 5 Pro when it just looks like a very standard version of what we already got. So nice little upgrades here and there, but what it looks like in terms of in actual PC, I think that it looks more than enough. So if you're looking to spend the money to get yourself a PlayStation Pro, which in Canada this costs over $1,000, you could get yourself a refurbished gaming laptop that'd be able to perform pretty well, or even a refurbished PC for pretty cheap. RTX 3060s are in a PC under $1,000 in Canada, so cheaper than a PlayStation 5 Pro, and it'll be able to run at 60 frames per second at 4K. So yeah, this is the PC version here. Obviously the shadows look great. I don't know, I think that this looks pretty good for myself, but you be the judge. Go check out some videos, or Dan Allen Gaming's video there on the PlayStation 5 Pro. I think that obviously comparing PC to PS5 is not a very fair thing, but if you're going to spend the extra money, I think that a gaming PC is probably a better idea. But just want to give my thoughts on this, because I know that a lot of people are looking to get PlayStation 5 Pros. It's not as popular as we previously thought, with much less people purchasing the PlayStation 5. But I do think it's nice that it is adding in things like the PSSR, as the DLSS is actually really nice on PC. It gives you lots of customization in terms of what game mode you want to play on. I know some games on PlayStation 5, like God of War, has a few different options. Like you got Performance Plus, or anywhere between the quality and all that. So yeah, Sony described PSSR as one of the 3 reasons to upgrade to the PS5 Pro. So the AI upscaling analysis images on screen improves the resolution using machine learning, meaning that the PSSR is able to take a lower image resolution and upscale it to higher resolution, making it seem clearer than it actually is. It's kind of like putting on a pair of spectacles. You can see there with Tifa and Aerith. So yeah, this is quite nice, giving you an enhanced view of what the game looks like. Now there's pictures like this. My PlayStation 5 plays Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I think it looks more like this. I don't think that this is a very accurate description on what it does, but yeah, the PSSR does not work on the PS5 because it requires extra computational power. Could release an upgraded version for the PS5 in the future. It's highly likely that it'll be on the PS6, which I think is going to come out in 3 or 4 years time, so I will get that at day one. But I don't think that the PS5 Pro is anything that I'll be spending my own money on. Especially when PC can do it so well. Like if you're going to shell out the extra clams, you may as well just go all in and get a PC. Like if you look at the options here, gameplay wise, there's a lot of ways that you can customize how this works. You even got the Twitch integration on PC. With a video here with RTX 4070 at 1440p, I set my max refresh rate to 120, and it sometimes does hit that, so that's incredible to see. I have a 240 hertz monitor, so you got your frame rate cap that you can set, which will improve overall performance. I have it even set on quality here, and we're hitting easy 90 frames per second most times. So you can use the FSR if you want to, but the DLSS I think is the best. If you wanted to, you could really crank it into performance mode. I don't think that this really changes how the game looks too much, but it does push the graphic, the frame rate up a bit. I think it looks better with the quality mode myself personally, so that's typically what I leave it on. But I think it looks beautiful this way, so it works really well. I have everything all maxed out and everything possibly maxed, and it looks nice. So if you're looking to get a PS5 Pro, I mean, the performance mode on PS5 Pro is actually pretty worthwhile sounding, I would say. 4K at 30 is a little bit disappointing. Some people are saying this game may run at 4K 60, and it doesn't. So, but it's upscaled to look like 4K. So, yeah, just wanted to give my thoughts on that, as I'm a big fan of Baldur's Gate 3 and PlayStation 2. So, yeah, PC mods are also better. So, that's my thoughts. Feel free to hit that subscribe button below if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.